I have been advocating for Uyghur people all my life. I started my advocacy work when I was a university student in China. And since I came to the United States, I have been being vocal and advocating. But after this genocidal policy started to implement in early 2017, and I have been trying to raise this, and I participated on a panel at the Hudson Institute, one of the think tanks here in Washington, D.C., on the September 5th, 2018. 6 days after that speech on a panel, Chinese government abducted my sister just as a retaliation for my advocacy work. I say that it's linked to my speech at Hudson Institute because I spoke, as I mentioned, September 5th. 6 days later, my aunt and my sister both got abducted from 900 miles away from each other, 1,400 kilometers away from each other, from two different cities. Both are well-educated women. My sister is a retired medical doctor. My aunt is a retired school teacher. Both speak fluent Chinese. They both got picked up because they are the only direct family members I have left back home. My parents passed away, and I have two other brothers, both live here in America. So basically, as an American citizen, I exercise my First Amendment rights, my freedom of expression, freedom of speech, at the cost of my sister's freedom. My aunt was released several months later because I was really raising this issue that two women got picked up 6 days after I spoke from two different cities. They released my aunt, but my sister, more than 3 years now, there's absolutely no information on her whereabouts. So Ziba can continue.
Last time I saw my mother was in 2016, summer of 2016. So she wants to go back, and because she came with her elder aunt, my grandmother's different sister. She said, I have to take her back because she's elderly. She can't, this is a long trip, but she promised us to come back. And by that time, we started hearing about the camps are being built in some other like rural cities, like the countrysides. And we basically, everybody here, we ask her to stay, like, don't go back, because all of us are here. Just, you're going to be alone. And my sister had a new baby then. It's like, why don't you just stay here, stay with us, be part of our life? And she's like, she has no fear at all. She's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to go back and come back before you know it. So we sent her off, and she was fine, doing good. And until my aunt spoke at the Hudson 6 days later, she got picked up. And her last message for me was, you should get some sleep while your baby is sleeping. My baby was 3 months old then, and she never get to see her until now. She, my sister had a second baby. She didn't even don't know that she had a baby. So my mother was never politically active. She speaks fluent Chinese, and having served the Chinese society her entire career as a doctor, and still she was swept up in this horror. And honestly, for our entire family, we never ever thought that something like this would happen to her, with her personality, with her, professionalism, and it shocked us all. And that's why I said this is a hostage situation, because they took her to silence her relatives here that spoke up about this genocide. So from that day, our life practically become upside down. And instead of caring for my little baby, I was running around in the Congress Hall to get help to get my mom released. But it's been over 3 years now. We are not having any luck. We don't even know where she is being kept right now.
Anything you do as a part of your religion that's being targeted as those people are being extremists, as Ziba just touched a little bit, refusing to eat pork or just praying regularly, anything like fasting during Ramadan. Those are all treated as illegal Islamic activities. And while the Chinese Communist regime claims that those camps are for fighting the extremism and the Chinese government's national security is at stake with those Uyghurs. That's why they built those camps and taken those Uyghurs. It's complete lie, because what kind of national security has anything to do with somebody's not drinking alcohol or not drinking pork or fasting during Ramadan? So basically, people had absolutely zero rights for any kind of religious freedom. There's no any kind of religious freedom. Frontline, BBC Frontline did a documentary last year, summer of 2020, China Undercover. And there they interviewed a Chinese official. And when he was talking about what kind of policies they are conducting against the Uyghur people and how this is wrong and that's wrong, they cannot do this, they cannot do that, the reporter asks him, well, isn't that their basic rights? If you do this, doesn't that violate their rights? And the Chinese official giggles, laughs, and says, what rights? They have absolutely no human rights. So when they don't have any kind of rights, it's not a matter of violation. So religious freedom falls into that. Uyghur people have absolutely no any kind of religious freedom. So whatever you do, that's your crime, basically. What the Chinese government is doing to Uyghur people is not just about the Uyghur people's future anymore. It's about the conscience of the world, and they are basically waging a war on human dignity, as well as they're waging war on the freedom and democracy. If you look at the United States today, do you think that people have freedom to be vocal about the Uyghur issue? No. Look at all these celebrities and Hollywood, and always so vocal against any kind of social injustice. Where are they? Where are they when there's innocent people? Are millions of them are put in concentration camps, and the modern day slavery is back, and the Uyghur women are facing mass rape. Chinese government itself actually reported 1.1 million Han Chinese men deployed to Uyghur homes. 1.1 million Han Chinese men are basically sharing bed with Uyghur women while their husbands are sent to concentration camps or prisons or forced labor facilities, and they are subject to sexual abuse. Where are those feminists? And where are those people who are supposed to protect children's rights? Well, they don't have rights anymore in the United States. So because the perpetrator has money and the power, NBA, Disney, mainstream media, Hollywood celebrities, everybody is turning on the other side, basically, because of the short-time economic benefits they are getting. If the Chinese regime can control everybody's rights and the democratic freedom and freedom of expression and the criticizing the Chinese government, then the freedom in this country is already, at jeopardy. Everything that the people in this great country worked so hard to establish last 50 years, last 75 years is at stake. So it's extremely important, actually. And it should remain a critical part of our foreign policy in the United States, as it's tied to broader human rights concerns. It's not just about the saving of the Uyghurs, but saving the entire world's future, as this is, what the Chinese government is doing to Uyghur people today is the next world order that they have a picture for the entire world community. So countries of concerns as regards religious freedom are typically more, should have more interest on the preserving and promoting democracy and freedom, and as United States and other like-minded countries, they should uphold the values of religious freedom and with human dignity. So basically, with platform like this and your support, I hope that together we can fight this evil with the compassion, courage, and the conviction that necessary to win over this evident evil for all freedom and the future of the free and democratic world.
Today, through this platform, I just want to say, as a daughter and then as a mother to my 3-year-old daughter, I want to ask the Biden administration to save my mother because she was taken to punish a U.S. citizen for exercising their rights here in America. And President Biden took an oath to defend those rights. So I ask him to act upon it. Please save my mom. And thank you for giving me this platform to speak today.